can't believe it's coming up 1 year since I bought my first car here in Japan. I just got a notice from Gulliver, the shop I bought it off, that my service is due, so I thought I'd book it in and take you along for the ride. So today let's have a quick tour of my car and everything I needed to buy the car and how much it cost. As a bonus, I'm going to talk about helping my family member buy a K-truck off the side of the road and ship that back to Australia. A few people have asked me how much I paid for my car and what was the process of buying it and what insurances did I need, so I'll cover all of that. I'm no car expert, but I hope this helps you in some way. I love driving, and so I'm heading out to the Aeon Mall this morning and I'm going to show you the car there. But I just want to say, living in the countryside of Japan, it would be really tough without a car here because the transport options are a little bit few and far between. I mean, there is great transport here, but it's just not the same without a car. There's so many places you can't get to, or getting there would take an extra hour because of the transport. So this is my car. It's a Suzuki Palette. It's a 2011 model. On the clock at the time of purchase, it had 65,000 kilometers. It's an automatic transmission, a 650cc engine, which is just a little bit more than a motorbike, and a 30-litre fuel capacity. I got this safety and driving sticker at the temple at New Year's this year and put it on my car. Before coming to Japan, I'd never seen this before, but from the car's remote, you can actually open one of the back sliding doors. This is super handy if you have lots of groceries in your hands and you can't open the door. It's really spacious inside, there's plenty of legroom and there's a really high roof, so when you're sitting in the back it feels like you're in quite a large car. What you gain in space for your backseat passengers, you give up in the boot. The boot is tiny. However, you can fold the seats down and it can fold down really flat. Also thought maybe this would be great to camp in. It's probably not long enough for me to put my feet out straight, but it could be an option. This little engine is tucked neatly in the front of the car. I will point out there are airbags in the driver and the passenger side as well. It's a push start engine, and you'll also see that I can close that door from inside the car as well with the button. I read quite a few posts online about driving in Japan as a foreigner, and everyone sort of suggested to get a drive recorder for your own safety. So I've taken that on board and decided to get one installed. And finally, one of the biggest surprises about this car was the sat-nav system. It has a reversing camera, your usual radio, but I could not believe it. There is TV. Yes, I can tune into TV while I drive. Not that I do. I've popped into the Aeon Mall now because the guys at Gulliver told me it's going to take about an hour and a half to get the car service. So I just want to grab some lunch that I can take with me because after the car service I have to head off to work. As I'm walking through to the supermarket, I can see all the spring clothing is out and I'm starting to get a little bit excited for some warmer weather ahead. I just need something quick and easy for lunch today, so I'm grabbing these kimpa. If you've ever wondered why the different coloured number plates, well, the yellow number plate is like my car, that's a K car, meaning it has a light engine like a 660cc and a few other requirements. The white number plate is a full-size engine like most of the cars we have in Australia. The registration costs on the yellow plates are a lot less than the white plates. Speed limits around my town range from 30 kilometres up to 60 kilometres. On the expressways it can go up to 90 or 100 kilometres an hour. Earthquakes are a consideration here in Japan and I've had to develop a safety mindset, and with my car I always fill it up once it gets just under halfway. I usually go to a petrol station that says serufu. Serufu means self-serve in Japanese. and I like to do it myself. It's about 20 yen cheaper than the stations where they fill it up for you. When I fill up my car, I just use my credit card. I'm not loyal to any one petrol station just yet, so I don't have all the member card benefits. You have to touch this handprint to remove static from your hand before you touch the fuel nozzle. I just fill up this car with regular, and the total bill was 2,851 yen. I put in 17.60 litres, so I was just under halfway with my 30-litre tank. So to buy the car, I needed 5 items. These were my driver's license. At the time, I only had my international license. I hadn't swapped over to the Japanese one at that time, but they were happy with that. My residence card, which is what you get if you're on anything other than a tourist visa, I guess, when you land at the airport. Inkan or hanko is a name stamp. If you don't have one of these, you can use your signature. A jumeihyo, which is your residence certificate, which you get from City Hall. And shako shomeisho is a parking certificate, and I got that from my apartment manager. By the way, when we were buying the K-truck off the side of the road, I didn't need any of these documents, and we just paid cash, got a receipt, and asked for a copy of the expired registration, which is what we used for the export certificate. More about that later, but back to my car, my Suzuki Palette. For my car, I paid 408,000 Japanese yen. That was the total cost on the road. This included 2 years of registration, they call it shaken here, 2 years of free servicing from Gulliver, installation of the new drive recorder front and back, 4 brand new tyres, and 1 new battery. The next decision I had to make when I was buying the car was the insurance, and unfortunately I'm classified as a first-year driver here in Japan because I don't have a driving record here. So even though I had 30 years experience driving in my own country, it didn't count for anything at all. So here are the fees per month that I have to pay. I'm just about to hit my 2nd year, so things are going to look up from April. So I've saved the best for last. This is a story about a family member of mine who really wanted a K-truck. We approached a gentleman who had a K-truck looking abandoned in his property and asked him if he was interested in selling, and he said yes. Then we brought the truck back to a car park, which we temporarily hired while we were getting all the paperwork ready. And then we snuck a little air tag into the K-truck so we could follow its journey, and we followed it all the way across the ocean to Australia. And now it's his pride and joy. And it's quite an interesting story. But if you're interested in knowing more, please let me know in the comments and I can make a whole video about how we managed to do this. I want to say a massive shout out and thank you to every one of you who've subscribed, liked and commented on one of my videos. And I'm really grateful for the coffees you've been shouting me. It keeps me going, and editing is so much easier knowing I have your love and support behind me. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to talking to you again in the next video. See ya.